Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Fans were sad when Klay Thompson left the Warriors for the Dallas Mavericks, but it seems the player is not happy. Even as a veteran, Thompson is still an elite shooter and could find success with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green again. Trade proposal reunites the Splash Brothers. The Golden State Warriors could still be competing in the playoffs if Stephen Curry had avoided a Grade 1 hamstring strain against the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference semifinals. However, the organization has no choice but to prepare for the 2025-26 campaign after falling to the Timberwolves in a 5-game second-round series. In Empire Sports Media's Davin McFarland's opinion, the Warriors could reunite Curry with a washed-up 4-time NBA champion guard this summer and make significant noise next season. The Warriors and their fans have never stopped loving Klay Thompson, evidenced by the franchise's heartfelt response to the passing of his beloved Bulldog, Rocco, in May 2025, and the emotional ovation during his return to Chase Center as a Maverick on November 12, 2024, McFarland wrote last Tuesday. A reunion could mend the wounds of Thompson's departure, which left fans and the organization grappling with the end of the Splash Brothers era. Bringing Thompson back could galvanize the fanbase and locker room, reinforcing the Warriors' identity as a franchise that honors its legends. Thompson's role would likely be reduced, potentially as a sixth man, a scenario that contributed to his departure in 2024. Steve Kerr's breakfast meeting with Thompson in Manhattan Beach, where he discussed a fluctuating role, reportedly pushed Klay toward Dallas Mavericks. The Warriors, already navigating the luxury tax, would need to send out matching salaries, likely involving Moses, Moody and Gue Santos as proposed. No matter how the rest of Thompson's career plays out, the Washington State product will always be a Warriors legend. Thompson was expected to be an above-average perimeter shooter in the NBA after finishing his collegiate career with a 39% three-point shooting percentage. However, it's still remarkable that Thompson shot above 40% from long range 9 times between 2011 and 2024 and guided the Warriors to 4 titles during his incredible tenure with Golden State. Unfortunately, injuries and inconsistent offensive performances led the Warriors to part ways with the rapidly declining future Hall of Famer before things turned ugly in the Bay. The Curry-led franchise traded Thompson to the Dallas Mavericks after the 2023-24 season, officially ending the Dubs dynasty. Thompson averaged 14.0 points on 41.2% field goal shooting and 39.1% three-point shooting with the Mavericks this year, proving the Warriors' decision to cut ties with the 35-year-old veteran was justified. Still, if the organization is open to a reunion, Thompson could embrace a less demanding role during his second stint and help the Warriors avenge their 2025 postseason defeat. Doc Rivers believes Warriors should unite Steph Curry with unexpected player. The good news for the Golden State Warriors is that they have at least another 2 seasons with a core featuring Batman and Robin. When not in Gotham City, the pair goes by Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler III. Both are confident in their ability to lead a contending team in the Western Conference. On the surface, that's why he signed for 2 more years, Curry said of Butler, his newest co-star. Our belief is that we can make it work. And we've proven that the last 3 months. Just got to figure out what is going to get us to the next level as a whole. One guy can't win it. 2 guys can't win it. It's gotta be a team. As Golden State evaluates its roster moving forward, there will be a slew of role players who could potentially take it to the next level, as Curry mentioned. Interestingly enough, one NBA coach believes his brother might be the guy. I actually think the perfect place for him would be Golden State, Milwaukee Bucks coach Doc Rivers told Bill Simmons on a recent podcast appearance. Laissez-faire as it might sound, the idea is about as amusing as pairing Lonzo, LaMelo, and LiAngelo Ball on the Bulls. Rivers wasn't joking. I don't know if it's possible or not, the coach said. I don't know if either one of them would want it actually, but I do think he fits perfect. I've said that for 2 or 3 years, it'd be sensational. It would be great for him. Last season, Seth averaged 6.5 points in 15.6 minutes per game for the Charlotte Hornets, but proved to be tenable from beyond the arc, which would make him a strong fit for the Warriors next to Curry and Buddy Hield. To help the matter, Seth signed a one-year deal in Charlotte that's since expired, leaving him as a free agent with a clear path to the Warriors. Seems the signatures Golden State would need first, however, are from both real Splash Brothers. Rising East team named best fit for Warriors Jonathan Kuminga. The story of what happens with Jonathan Kuminga this offseason is one of the most intriguing in the Bay Area. Kuminga's future with the Golden State Warriors is as murky of a situation as one would imagine. With Kuminga set to hit restricted free agency, many are prognosing the former 2021 lottery pick has played his last game with the Warriors. After a roller coaster of a 2024-25 season, that should come as a surprise to no one. If Kuminga does not end up back in Golden State, there is one place that stands out as a natural suitor for the young and athletic free agent. At least, that was the case for Bobby Marks. The ESPN writer recently published an article discussing the top free agents in the class and discussing what could happen with them this summer. Marks did have the Warriors as one of the two best fits for Kuminga this offseason. The other team listed was the Brooklyn Nets. Projecting a new contract for Kuminga is like trying to master the Rubik's Cube, Marks joked. As for his next contract, the only thing guaranteed is that Golden State will tender the forward a $7.9 million qualifying offer before June 29. Marks noted that the deal he would offer the Warriors forward during the summer would be a 3-year, $81 million contract. The final season of that deal would include a player option. A contract that starts at $25 million gives Golden State the flexibility to fill out its roster and remain below the second apron, Marks added. If the Warriors do not bring him back, the Nets could certainly throw a deal at Kuminga that would be worth his time, given their cap space. However, it would not be surprising to see the Nets facilitate a deal to a third team as well. Warriors had interest in surprising trade target. The Golden State Warriors hit the right trade at the deadline with the Jimmy Butler deal that elevated them from a fringe play-in team to probably a Stephen Curry injury away from reaching the Western Conference Finals. But before they made the Butler trade, a desperate Warriors team poked around several players. Their failed Kevin Durant reunion pursuit was well documented. But there is one surprising name that recently came up, which the Warriors had an interest in. Utah Jazz's high-flying forward John Collins. According to Andy Larson of the Salt Lake Tribune, the Warriors were interested in Collins at the trade deadline before they got Butler. The 6'9" Collins could have been Draymond Green's frontcourt partner had they acquired him. He is an athletic big man who puts pressure on the rim and can knock down the three-point shot if needed. Underscore 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 underscore. John Collins a small ball center? This past season, Collins shot 62.8% near the basket, above the 59.7% league average. Collins, the 19th pick in the 2017 NBA draft, played only 40 games for the Jazz this past season. He averaged 19.0 points, 8.2 rebounds, 2.0 assists and 1 steal and block each. He also shot 39.9% from the three-point line, which could have made him attractive to the Warriors even more as one of their trade deadline targets. However, Larson said that ship has already sailed. I think contract-wise, that doesn't work anymore, Larson explained on the Locked On Jazz on June 18. He had a productive enough season last year that there should be interest in the league somewhere for him. I don't expect the Jazz to get value back necessarily in those deals, though. Collins has a $26.6 million player option for next season. He has to opt in so the Jazz can trade him and get something in return. With only the Brooklyn Nets having large spending power in free agency, Collins might be forced to opt in. The Warriors are looking to add a center to ease the burden on Green, who played at the 5, which was less than ideal for the 35-year-old grizzled veteran. Will the Warriors revisit that Collins interest and make him their small ball center if the price to get him is low as what Larson predicts? Underscore 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 underscore. Jonathan Kuminga is Warriors' biggest trade chip. The Warriors' offseason starts with Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency. What they do with him will dictate how their offseason go. According to Hoopshype's Michael Scotto, Kuminga is looking for an expanded and consistent role moving forward. But Warriors coach Steve Kerr has already made it clear that isn't happening. "I've been asked to win," Kerr told the San Francisco Standard's Tim Kawakami on the TK Show on Wednesday, May 21. "And right now, he's not a guy who I can say, I'm going to play 38 minutes with the roster we have, Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, and put the puzzle together that way and expect to win." So, the most likely scenario is Kuminga will get signed and traded this offseason. To where is the question that will be answered soon. Will they flip him for Collins? The Jazz were interested in Kuminga during the Lauri Markkanen trade talks last offseason. However, the Warriors might find Collins a low return for their former number 7 pick. New report on potential trade return for Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga has aspirations of becoming an all-star caliber player with the Golden State Warriors. He might not make it to training camp. As the roster is currently constructed, Kuminga's role is minimized, as seen by his lack of meaningful minutes down the stretch of the season. In his career, the forward has averaged 12.5 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.2 assists on 50.7% shooting from the field. He's established himself as a two-way threat, but might have reached the end of his rope in Golden State. If Golden State were to move on from Kuminga, it would be looking for a sizable return. According to the San Francisco Standard's Tim Kawakami, it may not be much. The Warriors cannot, numerically, get a great player back for Jonathan Kuminga, Kawakami said on a recent podcast. A younger player they can do. They can't get a proven player. You're not putting Kuminga in the mix for Durant. If not Durant, then who? According to Kawakami, Chicago Bulls guard Kobe White may be the ceiling. That's the level of player we're talking about that is gettable, Kawakami said. The Warriors have a big decision to make this offseason, whether it be re-signing the forward or finding a suitor willing to facilitate his all-star ascent. If they do go down the latter route, things could look different in Golden State. Perhaps it would be for the better. 3-team trade idea sends NBA champion from Warriors to Bulls. The Golden State Warriors and Chicago Bulls had drastically different 2024-25 seasons. The Warriors reached the second round of the playoffs, while the Bulls missed the postseason for the third straight year. Golden State lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the conference semifinals in 5 games. Steph Curry suffered a grade 1 left hamstring strain in Game 1 and missed the rest of the series. With the NBA offseason almost here, one analyst proposed that the Bulls acquire a Warriors champion this summer via a 3-team trade involving the Charlotte Hornets. Warriors get Lonzo Ball, Jalen Smith, Josh Okogie, 2026, Portland Trail Blazers protected first-rounder, from Bulls, 2029 second-rounder, from Hornets, 2029 Denver Nuggets second-rounder, from Hornets, 2031 second-rounder, from Hornets, 2031 Phoenix Suns second-rounder, from Hornets. Hornets get Moses Moody, Jevon Carter. Kuminga becomes a restricted free agent this offseason. The small forward and the Warriors are expected to explore sign-and-trade scenarios once the 2025 NBA Finals end. The trade needs to wait until July 6, when Kuminga can sign a contract, starting at $30.4 million, Pincus wrote. Charlotte uses its non-taxpayer mid-level exception to take in Carter, leaving a $7.3 million balance and triggering a first-apron hard cap. The Bulls also gain a first-apron hard cap by taking in a player via sign-and-trade. The Warriors are hard-capped at the second apron by bringing back players for Kuminga in the sign-and-trade and using aggregation. The Trailblazers' first is lottery protected. Kuminga played in 47 games this season, averaging 15.3 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.2 assists per game while shooting 45.4% from the field, 30.5% from beyond the arc and 66.8% from the foul line. Kuminga, who won the 2022 title with the Warriors, turns 23 in October. He has career averages of 12.5 points, 4.0 rebounds, and 1.8 assists.